Hello, my name is Lisa Arlen, and I'm from Surrey, British Columbia. This is part 2 of my response regarding the Surrey parents' fight for return of 3 children seized by the Ministry for Children and Families, which aired on CBC News in respect to their story. I would like to continue reading official report of the debates of the Legislative Assembly, Thursday, July 25th, 1996, Volume 2, Number 5, Part 1, Official Report. And the following is Gordon Campbell speaking. The Premier, and I quote, "We spent about $1.5 million on the Gove report. I think maybe it was $2.3 million, I can't remember. We spent a sizable chunk of taxpayers' dollars." Emphasis mine. Establishing some independent recommendations. Those recommendations have to come through the government, and the government will eventually make those decisions. I wonder if those decisions have been made and what they were. We talked about a computerized tracking system in the child protection area. It is something I believe we could have done 9 months after the report is in. The investigation is not simply into the death or cause of death, it is into the activities of the Ministry for Children and Families. Emphasis mine. Honorable G. Clark speaking. His concern about the difficulty of making changes in the bureaucracy. I quote, "I think that is part of the problem. The Gove report does document problems in that ministry, and it is clear that we cannot wait to deal with the transition to fix those problems." I wonder if those problems have been fixed, and what exactly the government has done in order to ensure that they have been. We have to move on them now, and I don't believe it's been moving fast enough. I am going to personally drive this too. I hope a conclusion that all members of the House can support. It is increasingly apparent with some of the problems we need to move faster and harder in order to rectify them. Have they been? I just don't see it. In respect to discussions with the Premier, what we've heard consistently from the Premier, whenever we are really trying to push to make sure that someone is held accountable, is the Premier gets upset and does one of his numbers. In fact, he does what we call the rant and run, where the Premier says whatever he wants to say and then says, well, I'll adjourn the discussion. And it's not appropriate to adjourn the discussion to put them off to wait. The fact of the matter is, in this government, it has been very difficult to find anyone who you can hold account for anything. This report of the Legislative Assembly also talked about people with disabilities and people suffering financial hardship on income assistance. Equally rightly, they believe the cost of the government must come down without discriminating vital human services. The child protection policy was questioned in this report because of the fact of the matter is it does discriminate, or it is discriminating. And since it is a vital human services, I'm like, what's up with that? Since the government said to provide people services without discrimination, what happened? I'm just going through this report to see something here. This is the Honorable D. Streifel speaking, and I quote, "This figure, when they're talking about the budget allocation in respect to the child protection system, overall reflects that since the number of children in care elevates in that part of the system or system overall, that the government gets money for that. And there was some question in terms of the money that the government was receiving from Ottawa, that the underscore of those figures is each child that goes into protection. The question was like, where is this money going? And that it reflects what Gordon Campbell was saying in terms of the budget allocation. It also states that the Honorable T. Streifel, when I would hope that some of the answers will give reacting and responding in the child's best interest of the children in our society. The review would take on an annual basis. It is a discussion with the children that are there living in the foster home. Discussion with the foster parents and what would take place and the social workers. It would be through a review in that manner. And again, keeping in mind, our interest is always and continually the safety of the children. I would be correct in assuming 95 to 96 budget allocation from the federal government to the provincial government for the allowances of the children in care has increased by 1.5 million. 96 to 97 budget preliminary statements. This, and I quote, reflects the increase in the number of children in care. Fact of the matter is the number of children in care has increased, and an extra bonus from the federal government to the province of British Columbia. And that the federal government does get an extra bonus. It talked about the